Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Sunday late afternoon episode of Ted's Booze Cellar with me, your most gracious host, Ted. This is the premier alcohol review show here on YouTube. Now, I'm sorry about not doing an episode yesterday. Unfortunately, I was just not feeling particularly well. I was feeling a bit low energy, and I was had a bit of an upset and tender stomach yesterday, so I didn't really want to make an episode of the show with that in mind, because I just thought it would just sort of distract me, and it would sort of, I don't know, it just wouldn't reflect well in the content I'd put out. So I'm instead going to be bringing you guys today a review of another episode of reviewing the drinks that my brother got me for Christmas. So this is one from a brewery I think we've reviewed quite a few times in the past. This is Fantasma from Magic Rock Brewing Company. And this is a gluten-free IPA, and it says not much about it, like as is usually the case with Magic Rock Brewing beers. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of nice that they sort of don't, mince around with like the words on the back of their cans, but I wish they maybe gave a little bit of a description. But to be fair, I've got to say I do like the artistry and the sort of the design of colours on the can. It's a bit wacky and psychedelic, and but it's a mixture of colours that like mix together in quite a pleasant way. So yeah, I'll give that a 9 out of 10. I like the artistry of it. There's I just wish there was like maybe slightly less rounder shapes, but generally speaking, I think it's well designed. So we'll give ourselves a quick sniff of this and see what our first impressions are like. Let's see. There we are. So hope it's not fizz too much, because it is an IPA after all. Let's see. Let's give it a sniff. It smells kind of like an iced mango smoothie, to be honest. I mean, a lot of IPAs do have that sort of mango-y smell to it, but this one has that, and that's the primary smell you get with it, like a fermented mango smoothie. But it's very much subdued. However, I do like it because it's not particularly harsh. You don't get much of a bitter tang, which I feel like some people can be put off a bit by the smell of an IPA, because they, particularly the craft ones, they can sort of smell quite, mad and all over the place. But no, this one has a quite clear, one note sort of smell, but I think that kind of works to its benefit. So yeah, it's very pleasant, very welcoming. I'll give that a 9 out of 10 as well. So let's have ourselves a quick palate cleanser of water first to give ourselves an objective place from with which to judge this drink. And then on to the most important part of the video, which is to see what this sucker tastes like. So, bottoms up. Interesting. It's interesting because I feel like it's got the texture of like a crisp lager, and then the flavour of like a juicy pale ale mixed with the finish of an IPA. Yeah. It's like a crisp lager with a slightly wet finish. That is to the texture, I mean. And then a bitter finish to the flavour, mixed in with a slightly mango-y, juicy sort of taste throughout most of the drink. So, yeah, I feel like if I was going to say what it would make me think of, I'd say it's the flavour of a Franklin's Super Soaker with the finish of a Dirty by Tiny Rebel, mixed in with the texture of a Hop House 13, and also a little bit of the texture of something like a probably probably a golden beer, I think. But no, generally speaking, it's a mixture of tastes and textures that I think go together quite well. This isn't the most sort of like striking like mix of flavours, but I don't think it necessarily needs to be. I think it's quite good at just being a simple, generally enjoyable IPA, and yeah, I think it's pretty good actually. I think my main criticism with it would be that because the flavour is quite sort of straightforward and is a little bit one note in certain ways, that the bitterness at the finish kind of overwhelms a bit of the flavour a bit. That, and also the fact that the texture at the end goes a bit muddled, which kind of, considering the fact that the texture throughout is pretty smooth, I think is a little bit of a shame. But it's like, generally speaking, this is still really good. So I'd gladly give this like an 8 out of 10. This is a nice IPA, and I can imagine a lot of people who are gluten intolerant will probably quite like it because, naturally they can't generally have beers. So, because a lot of beers do contain yeast and such like that in them. So yeah, I would recommend this. 8 out of 10. And yeah, I think generally speaking, I've never really been too disappointed by any Magic Rock Brewing Company drinks before. So yeah, definitely well done once again. So if you guys did like this video, leave a like, share and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future episodes of Ted's Booze Cellar, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you want to check out anything else I do online, I'll leave the links to my social medias, YouTube channels and everything else in the video description down below. But until next time, have fun, stay safe with whatever you're doing, don't do anything I wouldn't do, wash your hands, take a mask with you to the shops, drink responsibly, know your limits, and I'll see you guys at the bar next time on Ted's Booze Cellar. Bye bye for now.